We're going to talk about this horrible idea that DC might be having. Now, this is a rumor, so I'm going to preface that this is a rumor.
Rumor has it.
We don't know if this is 110% true, but it's perfectly in line with what's... Thank you for...
Sorry.
Yes. No, for coughing away from the mic.
Oh.
We got to get better at that, me and you. It's perfectly in line with like what DC would be doing right now with the way they're ruining the comic books and just how it really does seem like they're failing on every level horribly. So it says Scooper Grace Randolph. Grace Randolph is a popular YouTuber. I believe she works for Rooster Teeth. Grace Randolph claims that The Flash will erase Ben Affleck's Batman and Henry Cavill's Superman from the DCEU. And that's not even the worst of it. So it says, The Flash is going to reset the DC Extended Multiverse by moving from the Snyderverse. This is the latest by moving on from the Snyderverse. This is the latest update coming from YouTube's comic book film scoop purveyor Grace Randolph. She claims, as many suspect, that the upcoming films will be Ben Affleck's last go-around as Batman, and Henry Cavill will appear as Superman, but in reused footage as footage seen on a TV. So, like, he'll be in, like, it'll be somebody on a camera, being filmed watching him on TV.
I'm always watching you, apparently. Yeah,
so it says... she claims that, as many suspect, quote, as I've told you with the update, she tweeted, The Flash is Batfleck's last appearance. Old footage of Cavill is used on TV. She added that the new Justice League will be formed. Sasha Calle's Supergirl, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Calle looks correct to me. Supergirl will replace Cavill's Superman. In an unexpected twist, the Tim Burton-verse Batman is said to be working with Black Canary, played by Jurnee Smollett, to recruit Batgirl, played by Leslie Grace, as his successor. Grace clarifies that the Keaton Black Canary Batgirl stuff obviously happens in Batgirl's movie. This doubles down on a scoop Randolph shared on New Year's Eve, which alleges that Jurnee Smollett will reprise Black Canary in the HBO Max Batgirl film before spinning off into her announced solo adventure. So that sucks because they're making her movie. That's the one that we talked about. That's going to be like a HBO Max only movie, which says to me that they have like no confidence in that property if they're not even going to give it a theatrical release. Like, if you're going to put it on HBO Max, at least give it like 8 episodes and give her time to flesh out the character.
Yeah, I don't know. But also...
You're one of the people that likes Black Canary, though, aren't you? Like,
kind of. Like, I don't know. I just don't really like Green Arrow, so I don't really care about,
it's not really your cup of tea. No.
Yeah, unless it's like, what's her name? The one that does magic. Satana. I like Satana a lot.
Yep. Did you see I think they did like she appeared in like the Constantine animation.
Yep. She was in the animation, and also she was in Legends of Tomorrow a little bit.
Okay.
So
it must have been one of the later Legends seasons that I missed.
And also she was in Young Justice and also Justice League.
Yep. What do you like about her?
I just like that she's very confident with herself, because like a lot of her outfits are very risque. And I like that. That's like old school comic books. Leave it alone.
People were talking about how, what's it called? They're like, the outfits are never practical. They would never go to war and stuff like this. And I'm like, pro wrestling entered the chat. Have you ever seen the stuff women wear in pro wrestling?
Exactly.
It's hilarious. Like they're all they all dress in a ridiculous way, and the men dress in a ridiculous way too. It's all ridiculous. It's not real life. It's cartoons, it's animation, and it's a fantasy. And whether they want to admit it or not, men should look masculine, and women should look feminine and beautiful, and men should look handsome. Whether they
well, Harry Styles says otherwise. Men can look masculine with a boa on.
With a what on?
A boa.
I don't even know what a boa is.
The feather scarf.
Okay, I mean, scarves can be fine. Feathered sounds not my cup of tea.
No, it's the famous pink feather scarf.
Okay,
it's called a boa.
That's not masculine. Sorry, Harry.
Oh.
Sorry.
Sorry, Harry Styles.
Trust me, as someone who is not going to claim that he knows everything about all of these things, I know for a fact that when people go to see these movies, people don't go to see like less than masculine male superheroes. Like Barry Allen might be the limit of that, right?
Come on, Barry.
Doesn't that seem like what they're doing here? They're getting rid of the alpha male type characters like Superman and Batman, and they're going to add like, so what? The men of the DCEU will be represented by the Flash, who is admittedly not the most alpha male person in the world, other than the fact that he's a superhero. Kind of, Batman is a lot of things, but he's not quirky.
He's not quirky, and like the Flash, I think he's Okay.
And they're just replacing them with females. They're just going to do Batgirl and they're going to do Supergirl.
Oh my god. It would be funny if the leader of the DC universe is Jason Momoa Aquaman.
That's a good.
Let's do it. Let's change the whole branding.
That's interesting because I don't know. I mean, they don't mention him being rebooted. And then what do they do with Wonder Woman? Like they're basically the idea here is that a bunch of the stuff is getting deleted, right?
Really?
As disappointed as this is for the Restore the Snyderverse crowd, Randolph sees the bright side. I think her boss means she sees the bright side because Rooster Teeth, I believe, if I remember correctly, is owned by Warner Media.
Oh, really?
So
I just remembered they're the people who made Ruby. Have you ever watched that series?
Have watched what?
Ruby.
Mm-mm.
It's like a Rooster Teeth animation. Dude, first season was really bad because they were trying to do 3D animation. So bad. Like, I was cringing, but I heard later it was better.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
So it says, remember, Babs and Dinah have always been good friends in the comics. I think Leslie Grace and Journey Smollett Bell will have very good chemistry, she said. And to have a superhero woman of color mentoring another could be very powerful, she continued. I don't think people watching these movies care about that. A select amount of people care about stuff like that. I think most people just want to see awesome superheroes on screen doing awesome stuff. Like we've been watching, I've been making you watch Superman and Lois with me.
Well, yeah.
It's I don't remember, Wole Park as Steel is freaking awesome. He's like super confident and super dedicated to what he's trying to do. He's trying to take out Superman, and then he eventually joins sides of Superman, and it has nothing to do with superficial identity politics or anything like that. He's just a really freaking good character, and that's what people care about. People don't care. Your average audience, I'm not talking about people who are the select small group of people that are really into identity politics.
Yeah.
The average person just wants to see a superhero of any race, creed, color, or sexuality do really awesome stuff on camera and beat up bad guys. That's what they want to see. So I don't. I think like right here, this is this is her covering for. Like I don't think she's happy about this. I get the feeling that she more or less because she was a fairly big fan of Snyder's work, if I remember correctly. Says not everyone is on board with the pivot from DC films, and Randolph addressed that without wishing to delve into the negativity reacting to studio decisions. It's absolutely no fun to cover all of these upcoming DC movies from a hateful perspective. It is not hateful to criticize choices that they're making. You're just criticizing their choices and what it's going to mean for first of all, their future revenue, which is tied to their ability to make more of each one of these properties, right?
Yeah.
I disagree. I don't think that anything that we're saying right here is hateful. Or anybody who has anything to say about this. And this is like making the rounds here. So it says, so she doesn't want to cover it from a hateful perspective. It's just too draining. I do agree with that part. When you do get super negative, it can be super draining. But I don't think of what people are criticizing as hateful in any way, shape, or form. So yeah, just to give you my perspective, it's gonna be my best. I'm gonna try to soldier on. So it doesn't seem like she's very happy about it, right? If accurate, the hard-to-swallow pill of these claims is that the Snyderverse is dead regarding the less than positive spin put on the circumstances by Mikey Sutton of Geekosity. Maybe they keep an ace in their back pocket, though, and work something out with Henry Cavill, maybe. They still have Henry Cavill. They still have Jason Momoa. They still have Gal Gadot. There's no reason they should be looking to reset everything and start over.
They could.
They shouldn't. I disagree. I'm not saying they can't. That seems to be what they're trying to do. They shouldn't. They have strong ingredients with strong characters. There's no reason to just scrap it all and go into a bunch of new stuff because modern day identity politics and progressivism tells you that this is the way these things could go. I don't know if there's like marketing departments that are telling them that this is the way to go. I don't know if this has something to do with Warner being sold to with Warner Media being in the middle of its sale to Discovery Plus or whatever. I just don't understand why they would want. This is not new coming from DC. Though they have been famously extremely reactionary with everything they do, meaning they get a good reaction to something and they announce 5 sequels and 3 spin-offs that never end up happening. People say one negative thing about something and stuff gets canceled and nothing gets made. So they're famously unable to stick to the script and actually have a plan because there's no Kevin Feige type character over there pushing things forward and keeping things on track. As much as I criticize Marvel, they're at least very consistent with their vision.
Yeah, for sure.
So that part bothers me.
I don't know.
Okay. Here's one then. If you could see any character on the screen besides, I'm talking any character.
Not like the main.
Yeah.
How many?
If you could add anyone to the, I'm not talking like the Justice League Trinity. I'm talking like if you could see any character show up on screen that's not mentioned in one of these, who would it be?
I want them to remake Green Lantern.
Okay. Well, that's amazing that they haven't pushed forward with that, right? And which version?
I kind of want them to do, because since they're doing like the multiverse, I want them to do Hank Green.
Yeah.
And then the other one. So Hank Green is the white one, right?
Hal Jordan.
Okay, Hal Jordan and then Hank Green. Yeah. I want them both in the same universe.
That would be cool.
Because like Hal Jordan was first introduced by Ryan Reynolds, and then in Justice League, the cartoon version, basically Hank Green was introduced.
Yeah.
And then they did a collaboration where Hal Jordan was there too.
Yeah.
So I think they can do it. And then like the new like DC girls, I watched it a little bit. Batgirl is voiced by Tara Strong, even though I'm okay with her. I don't really like her that much, but it's really good. And they do have like multiple like characters that are the same superhero.
Yeah.
So like they have the female Green Lantern and the male Green Lantern at the same time. So I think I just really want them to push for like a new Green Lantern, and maybe if they want to go this approach, can you have Jason Momoa be the Aquaman as the face of DC? That'd be fun.
That's what they should be doing. I honestly think you're probably right about that. Jason Momoa, and then but what does this mean for Shazam?
Well, Shazam is not like the main one. The main one is.
So that's not the same timeline as Snyder cut as the Snyder stuff.
But like I'm just saying, like comic book wise, like if you want to pay attention, what superhero should be.
Yeah, but they don't pay attention to that when they're making these movies. Very rarely. Like, so I don't know. I would rather see Shazam, Wonder Woman. If they're going to get rid of Batman and Superman, which is stupid.
That's
Shazam,
the big ticket. So.
Keep Henry Cavill. There's no reason with the star profile that Henry Cavill has right now, with how beloved he is. There's no reason to be stepping away from him. None business wise that I can see. None comics wise, considering how well loved that version of the character is. Despite the fact that this movie was highly divisive, people love him as that character.
I don't know. I'm just like, I'm kind of like ambivalent about this, because like maybe it might,
so it angers me more than it angers you.
Yeah, because I'm like, maybe it might turn out okay.
They're already calling it the DCEU.
No, never mind, I'm mad.
Well, no, I'm saying people that are angry are calling it that, just like they're calling phase 4 of Marvel the MCU. So what can you do?
Burn it to the ground.
Well, it's just gonna, like I said, it's just gonna annoy me. It's just going to, like, I don't think Grace Randolph comes off as if she's really happy about it here. And this is what's funny about it. This is such a big deal that it actually made its way onto TMZ. So it says, while Marvel is having a ball in movie land, there are grave concerns among the DC fan base, especially amid rumors that their fave heroes are going to be nixed from the franchise. Here's the deal. There's a handful of movie insiders claiming that a cut of the new Flash movie starring Ezra Miller, which just wrapped filming in October, so they're going to use Flashpoint to reset all this, basically, right? That seems to be what they're talking about here. And there was... Let's see, I think I saw a thing that said Ezra Miller responds. No. There was an article somewhere that said Ezra Miller responds to it. Maybe we'll cover that tomorrow. But I think they're making a mistake here. I really do. I want to see, and that's sad too, because I want to see DC do well. Like, whenever we review something with Marvel, I'm like, oh, but I'm just so much more of a DC guy. And then they make these decisions and they're ruining the comics right now.
Yeah.
With everything going on with Superman and being in jail. Yeah. All that.
Yeah. I told my friends about it, and they're like, I don't read the comic books, but what? And they're like, why would you do that to Superman? Like, if I was a guy and like Superman dropped the soap, I'd be so afraid to approach him.
Well, I don't think they know he's Superman.
I know. Yes. That's why I keep
He's Clark Kent, not Superman.
That's why I told them. I was like, dude, he's Clark Kent. He can't let anybody know that he's Superman. And they're like, so they let the security guard tase him?
I will give you one. I'll concede in one area. We haven't seen any of this version of Supergirl or Batgirl yet, so maybe they blow my mind and change my opinion.
But have you?
I highly doubt that.
Have you seen Supergirl, the TV show?
It's awful.
Well, first season was okay.
First season was done by CBS, which is why it's different than the rest of it. At least that's my opinion. That it falls right as soon as they went over to the CW. It started to fall right in line with their
Well, I thought the first season was good. Like, I actually enjoyed it, but then when they did the whole, like, was it, like, what was the timeline where they had the Flash and her, like, collaborate for a bit?
What do you mean? Like Earth 19 or whatever?
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Earth 19.
Yeah.
Basically, they had the Flash and Supergirl, like, meet each other, and I thought that was cute.
Yeah,
I thought it was cute until it got
was like
messy.
one episode, and then I wasn't a fan of that show. It blows my mind because I love those first 2 seasons of Arrow, and I even like season 3 and season 5, and then I after that it just got so bogged down with political sensibilities that.
Well, I just like the actor who plays as Oliver.
Oh yeah, Stephen Amell's really good.
Dude, his cousin's good too.
Robbie Amell plays. He played. Firestorm in there before they recast him for because he had another project going on.
Yeah, I think it was for My Babysitter. Oh, yeah, it's called The Babysitter on Netflix, where it's like the horror movie.
And I think that him and Stephen Amell and Robbie ended up doing something like called Code 8 or something on Netflix or something like that. They worked together again. But yeah, that was he was good as Firestorm. I loved the first season of The Flash too. But like I said, all those shows got progressively worse as they went on. Like they really did. But that's why I worry about Superman and Lois now, or even Cobra Kai yesterday said the more seasons these shows get, the harder it is for them to keep the real world out of their writing, and that's the hard part. Thanks for watching this clip, guys. If you want to see full episodes or follow us on social media, links are in the description below. Bye.